Good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Wow Wednesday. And I'm so happy to have you with me. This is Trish Carr, and I'm here for Women's Prosperity Network. Very excited to be filling in for the incredible Nancy Matthews, who, as we speak, is in Luxor, Egypt, at the pyramids, doing all of this pyramid stuff and on a spiritual retreat. And I'm so excited for her. And yet I'm so excited for us because this is our midweek boost of inspiration, education, and motivation that keeps us moving and grooving all week long. I'm so glad that you all are here with me. And let me tell you, let me pull this up because I want to make sure I get it right. I have with me the most incredible woman who I have known for a really long time, probably 10, 12 years, right?
Yeah.
Long, long time. And first of all, our conversation today is going to be so foundational. It's going to bring you back to something so important, so important. So strap on your seatbelts, get your cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever it is you want for a little refreshment, and be with us for the next 30 minutes as we have a conversation. And we will open up for Q&A at the halfway point, and I would love to hear from you as well. So let me tell you about the fantastic Sue TK. She is a confidence trainer. A confidence trainer, you say? Why does anybody need a confidence trainer? Because we all want to be building our confidence, and many of us have had it knocked down for one reason or another. So it's great to have somebody who supports us in that. And what she does is she works with us to find our unique strengths and learn to be really authentically us and confident. She's the founder of Your Fascination Factor, a coaching and consulting service, and is a certified advisor for How to Fascinate program. I'm so excited to hear about the Fascination Factor. She has created a personal development program for teachers, and we're going to talk a little bit about her background as a teacher and what happened there. And I know many of you, a good number of you have been or are teachers, so I'm sure you'll be able to relate to this. So Sue TK, I am so excited to have you here with me and to learn all about your fascination factor and the foundational thing that we're talking about today. So welcome.
You, Trish, we so appreciate that welcome. And, I'm going to comment right away on one thing that you just said, and that is, why do we need a confidence trainer? Because we've had our confidence knocked down. Guess what? It happens to me. And it just happened to me recently, as I have just returned to Florida from being up in Wisconsin. My mother passed away, and I have been gifted with the responsibility of taking care of her estate. And I'm not the oldest in the family, but I'm the one who stepped forward.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk about confidence,
mm-hmm.
I do have to say that my confidence was kind of shaken just because I wanted to do my mother's eulogy. I had talked about doing it for a long time because my mom was truly, truly one of my best friends. She and I shared so many hobbies and loves and all of that. And yet, right before I was to get up and give the eulogy, I thought, in the am I doing? What all of these people sitting in the audience, and I looked upward and I could feel my mother telling me, I know you can do this, honey. I know you got it. And I walked up there and I nailed it.
Good for
I'm not,
you.
no, I'm not saying that egotistically. I'm saying that because I wrote it and I had it in front of me, but I was really watching the audience. I was watching their facial reactions. I was looking for their smiles and their nods of affirmation, and it spurred me forward. So, confidence is a muscle that we really have to exercise all of the time. It's just like our physical bodies. We need to exercise them in order to keep them in prime condition. And
Yeah.
our confidence is just that way. So um, it's one of the things that I love to do with people is help them discover what makes them unique. And Trish, I know you and I were talking before we started about your fascination factor. What does that mean? Um, I'm part of a group that is run by Sally Hogshead. And if you've never heard of her, Google her. She's phenomenal.
Yes.
And she created this program called How to Fascinate. What's really good about it is that it's an assessment that allows you to see how the world sees you rather than how you
Oh,
see
do
the
I
world.
really want to?
Well, and it's like my archetype. Okay, my archetype is the talent. The first time that I saw that, I'm like, what? I I am not the talent. And then as I worked with it and I looked at the words that are used to describe the talent, you know, uh, leader, comfortable talking in front of a group, organizer. It's like, oh, yeah, that is me.
Yeah,
And I
that is
have,
you.
thank you. And I have worked my way into believing that. And as I believe it, I live it. So
That's it.
that
That's
is
it.
it.
Yeah.
Once you know what makes you unique, what, and I use the word strength. Sally uses the word advantage, but it's a strength, knowing who you are.
Yeah. And knowing what strengths you have so that you can build on them and what's missing so you can find them in somebody to support you or to create them in yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's so important, Trish. People need people. And looking at um, this group, Women's Prosperity Network, has brought me so many experts that I feel comfortable. They're my tribe. They're my group. And if I don't know something, I know just who can help me. I know just who can answer my questions. That's the good thing about having a tribe like this.
Yeah. It is. It is. And you know, I have to tell you, I'm getting so many great comments in the chat. First of all, we all send you love in the loss of your mom. The
Thank you.
relationship between a mother and daughter, whatever it is interesting at the very
Mhm.
least. So as you know, when our mothers pass, it's no matter what your relationship was, it's a complicated time. So Sue, our hearts go out to you.
Thank you. And
Second, I want to mention that one of the things you said, and Peggy Lee pointed this out, was you said you were gifted with doing your mom's estate. So
Mhm.
that in itself, just to look at that situation as a gift, I mean, it just shows how important the words you use creates your feelings, creates your actions. And that's really, as we get into talking about your foundational reason for why you're here, why you do what you do, why you put yourself through being an entrepreneur. Because, I mean, let's face it, it has its highs and it has its very lows. And
Mhm.
it's a roller coaster ride of being an entrepreneur. So knowing the reason you're doing it and the why, and so many of us may have known our whys at one time, but probably it kind of gets lost a little bit. So tell me, how did you finally find your why? Because you were a teacher, right?
Mhm.
And how long ago? Well, not even that. What was the impetus for you to not teach, to stop teaching?
Well, I had what I consider to be a very wonderful life. Married to my husband, Tom, we have two intelligent, independent, wonderful daughters who are now adults and have families of their own. And I was, once again, I will say, I was gifted with that life. And I taught for 34 years.
Wow.
And teaching became such a part of my life that when I retired, I knew that I was going to miss it immensely. And I was telling someone yesterday, it's not just the teaching part that I missed. I missed my school family, I missed my students, and I missed the adventure. Every day was different.
Mm.
And my husband is 10 years older than me, and he had been retired. So I said, okay, I'll retire. We moved to Florida from Minnesota. Best move ever. Oh my gosh.
Minnesota.
And I'm glad that I'm not in Minnesota or Wisconsin right now. I loved winter when I was
Right.
growing up, but the shoveling of the snow, no, I'd
Uh-huh.
rather deal with the rain down here than the
I
snow.
know.
Um,
I know, you're absolutely right.
oh
My,
yeah,
my
and the
brother
frigid.
lived my brother lived in Chicago, right on the lake,
Oh,
which was freezing cold, right? He gets married to a woman from Minneapolis, St. Paul. He moved to Minneapolis. He stayed 3 months. He said, I've never been colder in my life. I'm moving back to Chicago.
frigid, frigid. I mean, I can tell you, and I know that living here in Florida has been funny because sometimes school is canceled down here because of imminent weather.
Yeah.
And up in Minnesota, they might be getting like a blizzard and they're still having school, but
I know. I
that
know, but I digress.
that frigid weather up there. I mean, when it gets to be 34 below
I know,
and a
I
wind
can't,
chill of
no.
50 below, it's cold.
Yeah.
But yes, let's get back to
Yes.
uh, what we're all about. And I moved to Tallahassee, and shortly after I moved here, I was invited to a women's prosperity brunch, and I joined immediately. And at the time, uh, Trish, you and Nancy were still coming to Tallahassee for a meeting every once in a while. And I
Yes.
remember saying to Nancy, I want to become an entrepreneur. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I've been a teacher for 34 years and I want to do something with education. And let me tell you, for the past 10 years, I've kind of played around with that, but I didn't know exactly what
Right.
I wanted to do. And, when I use the word passion, education is my passion. I now have grandchildren. My daughter Katie is a teacher. I have such respect for teachers. And when the pandemic hit, um, I was like depressed because all of a sudden, all of these teachers were being told, well, you're going to go online and you're going to teach. And they had received no training. And then if you look in the newspaper or any social media, I think you will find something about education and teachers just about every single day. As a matter of fact, I set up a Google alert for three things: education, teacher burnout, and teacher stress. And I get multiple announcements every day. But it was one particular incident, and it happened in South Dakota, and I happened to see it on Facebook, where well-meaning, this credit union said during one of their hockey games, we're going to spread a tarp out and we're going to put hundreds of $1 bills on it. And we're going to allow teachers to apply, and certain teachers will get selected to come out on the ice and grab as many $1 bills as they can. And I watched it. And after I watched it, it was like, what is the world coming to? And then the backlash started. And it was like, why are we making teachers grovel for $1 bills?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we making them have to apply to say, I need money to buy books for my classroom or crayons or art paper or something like that? And that just really broke my heart.
Yeah,
It just so
baby.
happened that WPN was doing that little thing that we do, like, what is your mission? What breaks your heart? What makes you want to do what you're doing?
Right.
And that was it. I decided that I needed to support teachers, not curriculum wise, not anything like that, but I needed to support them in knowing their value. And I feel like I'm a cheerleader, and that's good. I want to tell them how much they are needed and valued. And that was what led me to my why.
And your why is supporting teachers because you did it for 34 years, having been in the trenches and seeing that these teachers, first of all, dollar bills, what the heck? What's wrong with $100 bills?
Exactly.
Right? The dollar bills really makes you feel like a pauper or a beggar, as someone said in the chat. $100 bills means we appreciate you. Get as much of this cash as you can. You deserve it. And the fact that you were just saying, I'm going to apply for this so I can buy books for my kids, so I can buy art paper, so I can buy supplies. First of all, the fact that teachers have to buy out of their own pocket that stuff is beyond me. Secondly, don't get me started on the salaries they make. You know me, girl, I can get on my soapbox about these things. So finding your why. So you dabbled for a while with what you wanted to do. You knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur, and then you found it. You said, this is it. I will not take any more of this indignity for the profession or for the people who are in the profession. So tell us about that passion and how it helped you to move forward. Because like you said, you were kind of like, oh, let's see what I should do, want to be an entrepreneur. And you went from that to, I have a purpose. Tell me how that helped you.
Well, one of the reasons this came about is because I think my friends and even some of my colleagues at Women's Prosperity Network got tired of me saying, I really want to do something. And it's like the minute that I said, this is it, I am going to do this, and I am going to create this program, Tenacious Teachers, because everybody in education is tenacious. They're strong, they're determined, they're resilient. And you can see it on faces, you can see it when people look at you and they know that you've got it. You've captured what you need. And I've been dabbling in this, and life happened. Um, Family is very important to me. And over the last couple of years, my mother was declining, and I stepped up and I was taken away from this passion to deal with mom. While I was doing that, someone shared with me the idea of you never really create from what you know. You need to stand on the edge and create from what you don't know.
Okay,
Isn't
so
that
that
interesting?
sounds interesting. How do you do that?
Well, it's like an artist looking at a blank canvas. Do they really know exactly what they're going to create? And for me, as a writer, it's like looking at a blank screen or a blank paper and not knowing exactly what's going to come out of my head or my hands. And that creativity
Um,
comes when you don't know. I know teaching. I can stand up in front of a group of students as well as adults, and I could teach something. I can teach you, how to give a speech. I can teach you how to write a coherent paragraph. I can teach things. I know that, but I don't know how to reach teachers at this different level, this level of moral morale and personal support. And so it's that starts that creative process, that creative thinking. And in talking to someone, she said, do you pay attention to your why? And that's
mm,
a profound question. Do you pay attention to your why? When you sit down to work or when you're talking to someone, do you pay attention to your why? And it's like, I wasn't sure that I was really paying attention to my why. And I had to get creative and go back in and dig deep because I want to write my own story. As I was drafting the eulogy for mom, what kept going through my head was, I don't want to die with this unfinished business inside of me. I don't want to die with that song, that poem, that novel, that work inside of me. I know that there are people out there who need me. And every time I talk to a teacher, they go, "Oh, we need this. We need this." And I know it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. And so I'm a very emotional person. And I just finished rereading The Shack. And
the
there,
shack.
The Shack by, I think it's William Young. Anyway, it was
Okay.
made into a movie, and I had listened to it on tape. And there was one sentence in there that I kind of always remembered. And I had to reread it. And I found that sentence. I get criticized by my family a lot for being a very emotional person. Okay, well, it is what it is. The quote from that book is, emotions are the colors of your soul.
Oh my gosh, that's so tweetable.
And I say to my family now, I'm a very colorful person. You
Oh, I
know,
love
it's
that.
like, yeah, I am emotional. And that leads to my passion. And my passion is what makes me get up in the morning and get out there and talk to teachers. And I have a vision. I have a vision. I told you that my daughter Katie is a teacher,
Yes.
and Katie wants to help me with this whole process. And I'll tell you something. I told her last year, I said, you know what, honey? I'm going to make you the CEO of the company as soon as I get this going. And I'm going to go out and talk to the teachers.
I
I
love
said,
it.
that's my passion. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this paperwork kind of stuff.
Right.
To be out there talking to people, motivating them, inspiring them, letting them know that they're so important.
Absolutely.
So it's that whole passion thing. And Trish, you had asked about how your fascination factor enters in.
Right.
Well, one of the things that I do with the teachers in the program is that I give them the How to Fascinate assessment. And what I do is I look at it as a tool for empowerment
Mm.
because Tenacious Teachers is built on four foundations, and that is health and wellness, mindset, inspiration or motivation, and empowerment. And I remember talking to school boards. I remember going to the legislature and telling, our state senators and House of Representatives, listen, you you've got to realize how important education is.
Hmm.
And Trish, you mentioned salary.
Ugh.
Back in 1975, my starting salary was $7,500. And I remember thinking, when I make $20,000 a year, I'll be rich.
Right? 7,000. Okay, I'm going to do the math. $7,500 couldn't
A
be. How
year.
much? $7,500 a year? Okay, so that's $625 a month.
Huh.
Ay, ay, ay. I think I made that a week in 1975 as a clerical support person.
Oh, yeah. And
Wow.
so
Well, I don't even want to think about what do they make now.
well, they do make better, but not nearly enough. I mean, uh, starting teachers right now are making what I made when I retired, which is close to 50,000.
Well, let me
So,
tell you something. $50,000 is $960 a week.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
before taxes.
yeah. So,
And that's not a lot of money.
no, it's not. And that's why I say that, my life was blessed. I married Tom. We both had good careers.
Hmm.
We were able to raise our daughters very well. Um, that isn't true for everybody. That really is not true for
No,
everybody.
somebody
And
making 50,000 a year with a family needs another job.
oh, yeah. And we wonder now as a society why people aren't going into teaching. And so it's my calling. I got to get out there. I
Yes.
not only have to empower teachers, but I do need to speak to legislators, lawmakers, uh, superintendents, and so that's me. That's what I'm all about right now.
Well,
So
you have a connection to lawmakers and superintendents with Elisa Lapolt, who worked with the government in
yes,
Tallahassee,
yes,
and she's got lots of connections. So that's fantastic.
Alisa and I work together in Essence of Being. We're both coaches for that. And we talk. Yes. So that's
Yeah,
great.
she's perfect. She can get you
Mhm.
connected. And this whole conversation about how you went from I'm not sure what I want to do to, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. I've got to do it. So the big question is, how do I find my why?
Well, I believe that it takes open and honest discussion with another person or a group of people who are willing to keep asking you why. Like
Mhm.
you say something like, I want to work with education. Why? Why?
Keep
Until you get
digging.
so immersed in hearing the word why that you maybe even get a little like animated and it's like, and it's that point where that passion comes out. Now, leading up to that, it's kind of going back to that whole creativity thing. All right. What is it about your subject that you don't really know? What is it that's going to make you stand on the edge and jump? And
Mm.
I remember Steve Harvey doing that little jump video at WP, and we saw it at WPN a long time ago, and that has stuck with me. It's like you gotta jump. You gotta find what feeds your soul, and then you gotta jump. And there are so many different things that we can do out there, but I like connecting with people. That's one of my passions. I love connecting with people. I love building relationships. And so when I connect with someone, I don't want to ask them, what do you do? I don't even want to ask them how they serve others, even though I know that that is something that we say. Instead, I want to know what feeds your soul,
Right.
gets you up in the morning, what gets
What's
you
that?
riled, what gets you laughing, what gets you crying. And it's from there. And you have to have a forum for that. You have to be able to look at someone and say, I want to know what this person thinks about what I think.
Wow. Wow. Well, I know that you have a free gift that you want to share with everybody, and it is about creating that why.
Mhm.
So while I do this, I'm going to get the lines ready to open up for Q&A. Love to hear from you all. So just raise your hand if you're on your computer. If you're on your telephone, you can hit *6. And if I hit *6 on your phone, and then I will see that you have a question and I'll open it up. But tell everybody about your free gift and I'll put it in the chat.
What I am offering is, and it's not a free, it's $11, but it's really low cost because I want to have a conversation with people who are at the point in their career, at the point in their entrepreneurial journey where they may have lost sight of their why. They may not be living their why every day. And so I'm offering two sessions, March 3rd and March 6th. And it's $11. And we're going to get together and I'm going to have some tools ready for you, but we're going to do a lot of talking. And you're going to hear that word, why, almost like a toddler, but it's going to be that why, and we're going to dig deep. And I want to connect with more people. I want to
Mhm.
hear their stories. I want to hear their passion, and I want to lead them to that creative edge where they jump.
Yeah. Yes. Well, fabulous. Let me go ahead. If you're on Facebook, just put your question in the comments and I'll ask. And let's start with Dr. Rose. go ahead and open up, Dr. Oz.
Sue, are you a fly in my house on the wall? You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. And I just thank you for this because I love Brother William. It made me think, I don't know if you read his second book, Crossroads. So that's just as good. And that's where I feel like I was there, but like you were here with me to help me discuss that. What I think is so powerful is that 34 years of teaching, and because of what quote quote your family said you were emotional, my family tells me I'm sensitive. But guess what? We are both necessary. We are
Yeah.
both necessary, and we are puzzle pieces that fit in with everyone else. I thank the Lord how He has repurposed your 34-year treasure, the skill set of teaching, to turn it into a Wow Why Wednesday. So you are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, most cherished. And I just call out Jehovah Kaiel over your life for worship, wisdom, wealth, virtue, honor, power, influence, favor, and an army rising up. Sister, you go be that emotional, intentional, on purpose megaphone, as C.S. Lewis would say, and you go to your set of people, the teachers that need you, and to teach them to know what's in their hands. I love you. Thank you, Trish.
I love that, Dr. Oz. Thank you so much. You go, woman.
You touched my heart. Thank you. I feel that very deeply. As a matter of fact, it's giving me like little chills. So thank you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Oz. Let's hear from Adele Alexander. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Welcome to Wow Wednesday.
Thank you for having it. This was just really awesome and right on point for me. Here's my situation. I am a member of AmeriCorps, which is a domestic version of the Peace Corps. So basically, I am a volunteer with a stipend, and I'm doing tutoring and teaching ESOL, which is English for Speakers of Other Languages. Been teaching for 50 years, my first time with ESOL.
Wow.
But yes, I'm an immigrant to this country myself, and I remember my parents taking English classes, so it's very poignant for me to be able to do this. However, my contract ends in June, and when I saw your topic this morning, I said, that is for me, because I am now planning what I'm going to do in June. And you were talking about getting $7,500 for teaching. The first year I taught in 1969, this is not a joke, $3,000 a year. And the second year I taught, I got that too in another state. But I'm really shocked that teachers get so little money. And even though here in Florida, they finally gave us a raise because they couldn't get any teachers for the school system. However, what I'm interested in is your process, because I love it. The why, because I am probably the queen of unfinished projects. Although I've done a lot in my life, I have, but the unfinished projects are just piling up and I'm not getting any younger. So I would like to just find a way to make, once I'm done in June and I am getting some new teaching opportunity, I want it to be fabulous. Even more fabulous than what I'm doing now.
Yes.
Oh, Adele, wonderful. And guess what? I need people like you. As I get into more of this Tenacious Teachers program, I am looking for seasoned teachers who can help me support teachers. And Nancy Matthews and I have been talking about creating a certification program for Tenacious Teachers. So reach out to me, keep me in mind, because I would love to work with you.
Okay,
Yes.
same here. That would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Well,
And thank
be
you
sure
for
to
your service. You
Yes.
know, that's not an easy job, teaching English as a second language. Oh my gosh.
Not,
So
and I wasn't really, I mean, they gave us, let's say 4 days of training is generous. They gave us 4 days of training, but it was just not enough. It was only because I've been teaching so long that I was able to jump into a 2-hour class and
Mm.
actually do something. And the technology, learning modern technology to teach, that's a whole other topic. But yes,
oh yes. Oh yes.
Yes, everything, it just keeps going and going, and all the technology and everything oh my gosh, it's,
the smart board, the smart board are smarter than me.
yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you so much, Adele. Appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank you.
50 years of teaching.
Yeah,
50
thank you.
years.
Thank
Talk
you, both
about,
of you.
oh my
Awesome.
gosh. Adele, the processional effect of what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, the processional effect, you dropped the pebble in the water and
Yeah. Yeah.
you have touched so many lives. X
Wow.
50, you can put that 50 to the 10th power, because everything you have done has shaped minds that have shaped other minds. Thank you, Adele. Thank you. And I love that you and Sue TK are going to connect with each other. You can
Me
connect through
too.
yeah, you can connect right at the Women's Prosperity Network member directory. Just put in Adele, Adele, and Adele Alexander will come up for sure. Wonderful. Thank you, Adele. So glad you were here.
Me too.
And who do I have in the 850 area code? Someone on the telephone? Go ahead and open up.
You have
Yes,
Catherine Hathaway. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my darling friend. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Trish?
I'm so happy
lovely
to
to hear
you.
your voice,
Yes, you too. You too.
and so lovely to hear the contribution of my mastermind sister, Sue TK. I love the question, what sets your soul on fire?
Mm-hmm.
That was brilliant. And I think I'm going to use that as a conversation opener. I had the blessing of finding out what set my soul on fire about 30 years ago, after I'd already started practicing law. And it has made all the difference in my practice and in my loving what I do. And I'm so excited for you and for the people you're going to be working with. I, of course, get to work with Sue like every week, and she's real good at setting our group on fire. And I don't have anything else to say. God bless you all, and take Sue's assessment. It's very interesting. Get in touch with her. I encourage you all.
Absolutely.
So have a wonderful day, everyone. Love you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Appreciate it. I'll tell you that your encouragement is really great, because people are writing in the chat, I signed up. Peggy Lee, I need to dig deeper into finding my why. So people are signing up, and it is true. I love that. Finding what sets you on fire. I love it.
Great.
Catherine, we meet every Sunday for an hour or so, and like-minded people. I mean, we just need each other. They're my sisters in Tallahassee, and I get so much love and support from them that it's wonderful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Catherine.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Alicia Alexander, I saw that your line was open. Did you want to comment today, or did you have a question? Go ahead and hit *6.
I had unmuted because the computer said to unmute, but I have too much background noise to participate today, so I'm going to back out.
Okay, I don't hear you. I don't hear any background noise if you want to go.
Well, I just want to thank Sue for everything you're doing. Teachers are very necessary, and I apologize for our public lack of knowledge when it comes to teachers and being sensitive to teachers. I know I'm a grandmother, and I have two beautiful granddaughters. One's in school and actually they're both in school, but one's just beginning school. The other one is established in school. And so I appreciate the pouring into their knowledge by our teachers. And I just want to say thank you very much for all you do.
Thank you. You are so welcome. And as you said that, my mother asked my daughter, Katie, why she wanted to go into teaching. Why? It's such a hard job. And, your mother has worked so hard. And even her father, my husband, Tom, said, why do you want to go into teaching? And this last week, Katie sent me a picture. She'd been having a rough day, and one of her students brought her a stuffed animal with a little tag on it that said, "You're the best." And it's like, she started, Katie is very emotional like me. She started crying, and we shared that connection. And I said, it is about the money because you have to make a living.
Correct.
But in many ways, it's not about the money. It's about touching someone else's life. And that's what makes the difference. And I just want to add this. You may have heard me speak before, but I survived a school shooting. I wasn't in the building where it happened, but it happened in my district. And every time a school shooting happens, it triggers me. I go into a little bit of a depression because, of course, I feel for the victims. That's common. What I really feel is for the survivors, for the surviving students and teachers, because those teachers have to go back into their classrooms, their community, and they have to be tenacious. They have to be strong, resilient, determined for those kids, because those kids are confused. So it's important. And thank you, because you brought up your grandchildren. And I'm so grateful that Katie is still teaching, because my grandkids need good teachers. People who love
Thank you
them.
so much.
So
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Alicia. Appreciate you being here. Yeah,
Thank
Sue,
you.
you bring up school shootings.
Yeah,
And
many years ago. And it's sad that it still keeps happening,
yeah, yes, it is. We just Valentine's Day was the 5th anniversary of the Parkland shooting, which is my neighborhood. And I was like, wow, 5 years, and all we've given is prayers and thoughts. That's it about legislation. But I digress. We don't even have to go down that road.
No,
But you
I
add
get
that to the pressure that teachers have. I mean, no wonder why teachers are leaving the profession. You're not making enough money. You have to pay for everything out of your pocket, yet you're not making enough money. School shootings happen, unfortunately, as if they're a regular occurrence. So, I mean, it is really a tough time to be a teacher. Really, really, really. So, whew. April Heath has a question. April, do you want to open up? And can you open up, or should I ask it for you? Yeah, good. Hi, April.
Good morning. This has been an amazing conversation, and I've come to expect that from Women's Prosperity Network every Wednesday. I am planning to buy a spa, and my question is, if I buy one that comes with a staff, how do I find out their why, their motivation to excel, exceed, develop, and keep them on board, even if it means they have to change some habits?
Well, one of the things that some people have used, and it's that part of your fascination factor, that I do that coaching and consulting. And so if you're looking to hire somebody and you want to make sure that they align with your mission and your purpose, any type of assessment that will allow them to find out more about themselves and about how they operate is going to be good for you. How to Fascinate is a great assessment, and there are companies that will use it. They will offer it to employees, or even someone that they're seriously considering about hiring. And from there, it's a whole alignment process. Like, do they have strengths that you don't have that you need for your business? And that's where the whole coaching and consulting piece comes in. So I would recommend that you either get in touch with me for a conversation, or looking into something similar to that. And April, I want to thank you. I noticed your comment in the chat about a school librarian, what you wish for. And it's interesting because I was the library media specialist at the time of the shooting. So I'm saving that chat so I can look that book up. Thank you.
Catherine Center is an amazing writer. She's got an easy breezy writing style, and she dives right into those emotional things. You'll be laughing and then crying and then rooting for the protagonists and the characters. I think you're really going to enjoy that.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go back on mute.
April, thank you so much. That was such a really great question, because it's not just about finding my why. When you're a leader, it's about finding the why of the people that you are leading, because a leader finds what people want as opposed to putting their want. So the fascination factor is a great way to find that. So Sue, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Well, if you're a member of Women's Prosperity Network, look me up in the member directory. Yourfascinationfactor.com is the website for that. And you can reach me through that. Or I do accept phone calls because
Oh,
I love
no,
to have
really?
conversations.
Really?
All right. So my phone number is 320-309-5511.
Okay, 320-309-5511. And Your Fascination Factor is the website. I put that in the chat. I'm going to do the same thing in the comments on Facebook. Maybe I won't put your phone number on Facebook. What do you think about that? Yeah, I put the website on Facebook, but I didn't do the phone number.
And
Fantastic.
I've had members from Women's Prosperity Network reach out on the member directory. So that's a great resource. So
Yes, and you don't have to be a member, although it would be great if you were a member. When you go to womensprosperityNetwork.com, you can join for free, and the member directory is available to everyone. So as a member, you're in the directory and it's open to the public, so people can still find you. So thank you for that. Fantastic. All right, let me check in with Christy and see if she's still here. Christy, I thought I saw your line open. Christy Swenger, did you have something you wanted to add? I think I put you on mute when you opened your line. I guess she's good.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Good. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Sue, my heart, I was a teacher too, and I could just cry right now for what you're doing. And I want to connect with you, and I would love to come in and just, you said seasoned teachers, so I'll be looking for my name. And
absolutely.
I'm just filled with gratitude right now for Women's Prosperity Network and for what you're doing, you know, for the case of teachers. So that's basically what I just wanted to chime in with.
Thank you, Christy.
Blessings and love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sue, look at all these teachers who want to support.
That was awesome. Awesome. And I love it. I love it. I love doing this and finding out that people I didn't know were teachers, are, or are teachers, were teachers, whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, there are so many of us
Yes.
who had that calling way back when. And it truly is a calling. Not everybody can teach.
That's true, but everybody can learn, and that's what you're here
Oh,
for. That's what you're here
right,
for.
right.
Gosh, Sue TK, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your why and for showing us how important it is that we find that passion, because once you have it, you keep moving forward and you make the difference you really want to make. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, for taking care of the teachers, for taking care of the students, and just as it works out, you take care of all of us when you take care of the people who need to learn. So thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for everything that you're doing with Fascination Factor, with Tenacious Teachers, and thank you so much for being here on Wow Wednesday.
Truly my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I speak highly of this group because, as I said, my tribe, and I love it. I
Yes,
love
yes.
connecting. So
Yes, yes,
thank
yes.
you.
And we do too. Thank you all so much for taking the time, for starting your day with the inspiration, education, and motivation to keep going. I urge you to click on that link and check out the Create Your Why class that Sue is doing. I know many of you have already registered. Way to go. Because once you turn on that fire, you are unstoppable. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you and appreciate all of you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and make it a great Wow Wednesday. Take care, everybody.